All right. We are live. We're live.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I let's make sure we're live. Let's double check this. Just make sure that we combine you. For those of you watching, there is a bit of a lag while we make sure that you are getting us and not me giving you colorful words in a few minutes.
We've had
Um,
some misadventures lately.
yeah. Okay, we are there. We're there. There's a thing.
Awesome.
Okay. Hi. I'm Sandy.
And we have audio. Do we have audio?
Let us
Let's
double
let's
triple
get all of our
verify that we
ducks
make sure that we totally
broken
do.
here.
We have audio, we
Woo!
are live, we are writing. Yes.
Awesome. That is Sandy, and I am Chloe, and this is WordStitch.
Hello.
Hello. Um, we are going to be doing some word sprints today because we are starting on time. We are actually going to do these word sprints.
Hmm.
The first one is going to start in 2 minutes. In the meantime, though, we're not going to actually discuss anything right now, but we are going to be finishing up our year wrap up. Is that correct? Or are we doing our plans for the future?
I've been thinking about that. We actually have one more word stitch, I think, before the new year.
We technically do, yes, because
Right?
30th September, April, June, and November, and December was not on that list.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel
yeah,
like maybe we should do, but okay, then again, we could probably divide this into like writing goals and marketing goals. So maybe we should just make this a twofer. Like this is part one, and next week we can continue with our goals,
yeah, we could have planned this out in the past hour, but instead we were talking about the best day to go grocery shopping this time of year,
amongst other things.
amongst other things. Yeah, so we'll see what we'll do. I guess we're just still a little bit up in the air. We're just gonna have a chat about marketing, probably.
Probably because that's what we were really
Probably.
talking about. Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's what we've been on a kick for today,
Maybe
anyways.
we'll set smart
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah.
I could
And
talk about
maybe
goals for so
I will
long.
actually write.
I've got to write today. Do you have to write today?
I don't know what I'm doing today.
I am going back to that YA story, the Lizzie Dupree one. I've been writing it. I'm like happy with it again. So
Excellent.
I know, right? My goal is to finish that thing this week, like I would have if I were being productive in November. All right, so to help
Okay.
us with that.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and start now, and we'll see you guys in 10 minutes.
Okay, we are back.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, that was productive writing for me.
Good.
And now, since I'm paranoid, I'm just checking to make sure we're live. We are live. Yeah.
We're going to be
So,
paranoid about that one for a little while again.
oh my gosh, for so long. Um, so should we do some goals for next year? I think we should do goals for next
Yeah.
year. Um, we should do like legit goal setting, like smart goal setting.
What does that mean?
You haven't ever you haven't had to do like a horrible corporate smart goal.
No, of course not. I'm a cake decorator.
Ah, but my history is in corny corporate training, so I
Gotcha.
am so
Gotcha.
on this.
Okay, perfect. Because I
Yeah.
don't know what we're talking about,
All
but I
right.
am willing to learn.
Let's see if I can remember. So a SMART goal is a goal that is specific, measurable. What's the A for? I'm not sure.
Oh,
Time bound.
acronym.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better and also more corporate-y, so worse.
No. This is fine. I need to make sure I'm not like leading us astray by telling us that SMART goals are
Yeah,
something that they
yeah.
actually aren't. So
Calm down.
let's
I'm
do
here for this.
a quick Google and make sure that we've got it right. All right. So SMART is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time based. So, if you wanted to do a SMART writing goal, it would have to be something like, I want to write um, a 320-page novel about sexy angels by March 2020. I think that would be it. That would be the SMART goal. Except that for us, we need like stuff that matters, right? So like the relevancy there is not 100%, 100%
Right.
it.
So would I need to have an Easter demon for Eloise on the market by March 15th, a SMART goal?
It is specific. You'll know when it's done. There's a time limit to it, and it matters to you. So yeah, that seems
Okay.
right. Um, yeah, I don't know. So I started because like a serious nerd. I've had a publishing plan for 2020 since like September.
Okay.
And I feel like the entire thing is like a smart plan. But honestly, like my biggest problem with this is that I way over plan this stuff. Like right now, I'm looking at my plan for 2020. I have not looked at this for like a couple months now. It appears that a few months ago, I felt fairly confident that I could do 14 projects in 2020. 14.
That's a lot.
Yeah, those are the projects I counted as limited. Then I added another like 3 that are year-long projects, just because I like the YA stuff that I take like so
Are you
long to
giving
do.
yourself like a success rate on this? Like, are you saying 14 with the assumption that you're going to get 10 done, or?
Oh no, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's completely unrealistic. And when I look back at like what I did in 2019, I will have completed like 9 projects and then another like 1 year long. So I'm way over planning for 2020, but I think that's what I would like to figure out is like what do I want to do in 2020 in terms of projects? Like where do I want to be this time next year? Because it is important to judge accomplishments, right? Like we talk a lot in terms of sales, and as you know, I've been like super uber down about my sales. But if I look back at like what I actually did this year, I wrote like 250,000 words or something like
Yeah.
that. It's a ridiculous amount of words. It's more than most people would do in like a lifetime. So what about you? Do you have a sense of like how many projects you want to do next year?
So last year, I made a list of all the projects that I wanted to either get done or like have in the works, where I wanted them. Felt like it was a pretty solid list. And then like 3 months into the year, I was like, let's try this paranormal romance thing. And my entire sheet was completely blown out of the water. And so I got a bunch of stuff done, but none of it was on that list because I completely veered off course. So I have things I definitely need to get done. Because I've got this Candy for Demons series going, and this has a very strict timeline because it's going by holidays.
Right.
Uh, so those three have to get done.
Okay. So you've got three holiday things that must be finished.
Yes.
Right.
Um, Beyond that, though, I don't know. I'm scared to make a plan. Oh, and I want to get. I think this is a pretty solid goal. I want to get Olivia's Confectionery Delights prepped to do next Christmas with it, since Christmas has been working pretty well for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I never took into account this was not deliberate at all, but it's totally a Christmas novel.
Is
Uh,
it?
yeah, I just never like thought of it that way because I just wanted it to take place around winter, and because she is a baker, it is another bake shop. Um, it's a good time of year to set it in. But it was never I never thought of it as being a Christmas story until now.
Yeah. So,
Like there's literally like Christmas Carol karaoke in it.
oh, nice. So it's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. You can definitely count the. You know, it's weird. Like I'm really glad that I was wrong about your holiday stuff. And I'm still fairly sure that like the holiday stuff wouldn't have worked for me. I have an idea and I loved it and I don't think I can sell it. I just don't see who buys that book.
What was it going to be?
Oh, I had like the like Snow Marley and Jack
Oh, that
Frost's
one.
son get kidnapped and taken to the North Pole, but it would have been cute and like super clean, and it wouldn't have been. I don't
And it
know.
was a huge market for clean. Like that is the bulk of the clean or the holiday romance market is clean. I'm in a weird offshoot of it by not doing clean, where most of the books are horrible.
Well, but like that's the thing, right? Like you're in a weird offshoot where most of the books are
Mhm.
horrible. So for all we know, that is part of the success there, right? Like you're topping a category as you should be.
So I would agree with that, except I have no ratings. So nobody knows that this is a good book, if it's a good book. And also, plenty of these books are rated over 4 stars that I could not get through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
my standards are different.
It is. But that right. I think it's a different world. I think
Yeah.
what I'm going for is a different realm than you, like literally a different realm than
Oh,
what
yeah,
you were writing in, and I'm not 100% sure that I could have sold that. But no, I so you got the three holiday books. I have in mind. I would like to do three angel books, like actual angel books, not
Mhm.
just like novellas.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm capable of more than that. I think that that might be like it for those books. I want to do one solid. Well, I have a Wesley Ash book to finish, and then
Mhm.
I have a novel for her, like an actual novel that I think I'd like to try to get into stores. Like I was originally gonna make her just romance, but since I've decided I might be more chiclety than I think, chicklet belongs in independent bookstores.
Yeah.
So and I have a good cover for that. Like my cover is really super cute. So she's a plan, and my YA. Like I have like
Mhm.
another flagship book I need to get out.
Yeah.
I think that would be reasonable for me. Like that's like a fairly heavy load, and that's probably what I can do next
Yeah.
year. Yeah. So that's my SMART goal, and we still need to cover the rest of yours because you have more than the three holiday books.
Yeah, I still know what they are.
I just don't know. But for now, if you're following along with us, we should probably start writing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am jumping on that right now. All right, so we're going to write for the next 25 minutes. So we were going to come back. I've lost the ability to speak this month, and we're just accepting that. We are going to come back at 10 of the hour. So good luck writing, everybody.
Okay.
That one snuck up on us. I actually got a couple of words written there.
Yeah, me too. My words are going weirdly right now. I'm writing a. You know what I'm doing is I'm writing like a montage. Montages are so
Oh,
hard.
really that, yeah.
Yeah.
I am. I just wrote the first 157 words of an Easter demon for Eloise.
Good for you. Getting on
Yeah,
that goal right away.
and
Yeah.
and already I had to do like a whole bunch of research. So yeah, yeah, like
Nice.
yeah. Right off the bat, I was like, I don't know this stuff, so let me find this out before I write any further.
It's a fair point. I don't remember what we were talking about with in terms of goals. I feel like it wasn't an interesting topic.
You wanted me to go further into my goals,
But
which
you don't have them yet,
I
do
shouldn't
you?
have, like, I don't know why I'm so honest as to say that, because again, I don't know what exactly they are. I don't, because I'm in a weird place right now. So I have those four books. Because there's the rest of Candy for Demons, which the last one is Valentine's Day. So I figure I will write that one next Nano.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, and and never do this get a book out in 6 weeks thing again.
Oh, you know what? I think that's actually something I'm gonna do more often this year. Like I need deadlines. I definitely.
Yeah. I I the only problem with it for me was that I didn't have that chance to let it sit for a minute.
Mhm.
Um that's it. So I really just I need it needs to be 8 weeks for me. Um so that's it. It was just cutting it a little bit too close. Um so I do think that it's fine to have those tight deadlines, just maybe not that tight.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Um
Fair enough.
yeah. But like if I were to set the goal to have it written in 2 weeks, that's totally fair. I just need another 6 weeks afterward to get it good and work on something else and go back to it. Anyways, okay, so I've got those, and then that the holiday one that I want to get out next year, it definitely needs. I don't know what the hell it needs. It needs though.
Oh.
But again, it's there, and I hope I still like it because it's been a couple of years since I worked on it last. But yeah, so I've got those.
It says reconnection successful. I think we're okay.
Okay.
For me that was weirdly seamless, but for you and everybody else, it probably cut us off. I think
It
only
was
for a
it was
second or
black
so.
space, and it was me yelling for help.
I heard you. I could
Oh,
hear what you were
good.
saying. Yeah.
Good. And I was literally just about to tell people, like, if everything is looking normal on your end and Sandy's end, and I'm just yelling for help, it's okay.
Then it's probably
Um,
fine. Yeah.
probably fine. I just yell for help randomly. Um,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. So, um, okay,
Okay.
yeah, we're live and we're both on that screen, so we are okay. Okay. Yeah, so I've got this issue now where I do want to get out one more from the Talia's series.
Okay.
Which again, that's something that I kind of already have written, and I just gotta like finish it and make sure it makes sense. Um, yeah, so I guess that's 5 projects right there, which I should probably be happy with 5 projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it's going into whether I go into those big projects that are on the back burner or if I pick up a couple of small things. So I'm going to worry about those 5 projects, and then whatever time I have in between, I'll do other stuff. But like the next project is the Easter Demon for Eloise. And then probably the project after that is going to be the next one in Talia's series.
So I'm looking at my spreadsheet right now. Good
Uh-huh.
grief. What was I even thinking?
This is your 14 plus 3 spreadsheet?
Yeah, like everything you're saying sounds totally rational. Like, you're gonna try to finish up the Talia thing. You've got your like 3 holiday things. You're gonna like leave some flexibility for some other things that you might want to do. All of this is all good, right? And I'm looking at mine. I had initially planned 6 of the angel books. Like,
Oh yeah, that's too many.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I don't even know. This to me has been a really interesting lesson. Like, you think I think I'd love to be able to be one of those people who could write like a book a month. And theoretically I should be able to do it, but I can't. It doesn't happen.
Oh,
And
I mean, very few people can write a book a month. Um,
yeah,
and
yeah.
especially for you, um, you're bouncing around to different projects. Like I think the reason that I was able to get Warren's Tabby and Beauty and the Boar and Songbird out so quickly is because it was all continuing the same project.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean you're right. You're right. There's been a lot of projects this year. It's been insane, and yeah. Although, again, I mean, I did actually do a ridiculous amount of writing. It was, see, and this is the hard thing, right? Is I think when you actually like if you look back over the year at like what you've done and like all of the stuff that you've managed to accomplish, like there's a lot of, I think we both had pretty productive years.
We did.
Just so then, like, how do you accurately measure what you can do next year, though? And I'm always very jealous of people who can, like, really legit do this. Who can be like, oh, yeah, no, I just write, this many words a minute. I know you could potentially do that. I write this many words a minute. I can get this many things done, this many words written in 2 weeks. If I'm on the same series, I can do this and this. And, like, I want to be able to do that. Because that's what a
I
professional would be able to do. But I can't yet.
I think it's a skill that you will learn.
Maybe, maybe.
I think especially because like me, although even more than me, you are trying a bunch of different things that are relatively untried by you. I think
Yeah.
dealing with that kind of slows the process down anyway. So I feel like once you get your feet more under yourself, you'll be fine. And you'll have a better idea. Once especially like once marketing and all of that gets figured out, because eventually it'll get figured out.
That's the most difficult thing. I
I
don't,
promise.
I
It will
haven't, maybe,
okay.
maybe. Like as far as setting goals for marketing though, I don't think I can do it. Like I literally do not know how to set goals for marketing. So maybe my goal for this year with that is just to like figure out how to do it.
I don't really know what that even means.
Yeah, right? What
Yeah.
does it mean
I
to
don't
market
I
your
don't know
book?
enough to know what I don't know.
Right, right. What is successful for people? What is not successful? Like, what'll work for you? What won't work for you? And how do you even figure this stuff out?
Yes.
Oh,
And I mean there's so many, I don't know. There are so many different marketing strategies and people doing all these crazy things. I'm like, I would never even look at any of that. But then also, like, you are in places that I'm like, I would never look there. So,
yeah.
yeah.
All right, let's write.
Yeah, let's
Let's
write
do
it.
the
All right.
thing.
We'll see you guys in a half hour. So, right about half past the hour, we'll be back.
And we're back.
Yes.
We're back and we're still live. Yay.
Yay!
I have no goals related to OBS. I feel like if I set them, they'll just go by the wayside. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe figure out another program. Maybe actually talk to the other author tubers and figure out what they're using for this sort of thing.
There is a really weird delay going on here. Like really, really weird because I feel like you're talking, but I cannot see your mouth moving.
Maybe my mouth wasn't moving. Is my video just frozen? Oh,
No, there's just like a
you know
really
what?
weird lag. Do you see
Delay
that?
on my end. You're talking about like a millisecond delay, right? Right.
Nope. I'm talking about a multi-second delay. It is.
Oh. Oh, I have a slight delay on my end as well, but I mean it's the words are right behind the motion of the mouth.
You know, so this is, I do think this is an interesting issue, right? Like, talk to the other author tubers. I think this is one of the biggest temptations that there is to trying to be a writer. There are so many things that you could do, right? And I want to do all of them.
Yeah.
And I have done a lot of them, right? Like, I'm a total do-it-yourselfer. So I do my typesetting and I do my ebook formatting and I create my own websites and I try to do my own covers. Oh, it's so weird. That is so weird. Do you see that delay?
No.
Everybody else sees it, I'm sure, because I think they see what I see. Sorry, guys. Hopefully Google will catch up with us or my internet will or whatever. But yeah, like probably there is some way to make this faster. Like I bet I could spend hours and hours and hours on it. I don't have hours and hours and hours. Like I just don't. Not if my goal is the writing, right? So and same with like other kinds of stuff that I want to do. I have to be really careful about like what things I could get sucked into. I'm podcasting right this second. Like
Oh yeah.
I think it's worthwhile. I think it's a potentially good marketing device, but like, you know, do I want to make that like a whole, you know, like I can't spend time thinking about marketing that, right? Like I have to do that as content, but think about how to market the books and it only counts if it's marketing the book. So I mean
Or it counts as a hobby and you shouldn't be counting it as part of your writing.
oh, I don't think I'd be doing it if it was just a hobby. I mean, like I'm specifically reading my YA stories.
Okay.
You know, it's a yeah. This could probably count for us as a hobby, right? Like unless we're
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean, we are writing during it.
we are.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's kind of weird how we're doing this, but at its base, it is getting us to write.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we discussed the business of being authors, but we don't expect this to be like an incredible marketing tool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The podcasting thing is a little different. I do think that's a possibility for the marketing. But again, I don't want to get too caught up in it. I feel like there's a real danger in like any new audiobooks. Like at some point during the year, I spent a lot of time on audiobooks. And I think that was good investment to find out what they're about and like to figure out if they're even worthwhile. But I'm not going to invest in those for a while. Like, I don't think they count until you have a following. So
they don't. We know that. The studies have shown that.
Well,
they say that you need to be like mid-list for it to be something worthwhile to pay for.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe because the thing is they don't bring you people, right? So like if you're unknown, they might bring you people if you're known.
Yeah.
But if you have no one.
And it's still, obviously, like a lot of people do audiobooks, but it's still a very small part of the market.
It's a growing part. Audiobooks are supposed to be one of
the
better. Yeah.
It is. And I know people who I have friends who will not read my books because I don't have audiobooks for them. And I'm like, I don't care.
Wow. Like,
yeah.
Do they know that it would cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars?
No, of course they don't know that.
No. And it is harder to read those books than you think. So like it's been fun on a podcast but that is different because I know that people aren't perceiving me as like a professional audiobook reader,
Yeah.
right? So I don't know. It's those kinds of things. But hey, if anybody wants to leave comments for us about some easy, quick way I can make this video better, you just feel free to do
That was
that.
a weird tangent. So
It was.
one of Sandy's goals, I think, is what she's trying to say is to take on less projects that are not actually writing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really hoping that like I did a lot of the like backbone work this year, because if I look back and think about some of the stuff I did, like the amount of time I spent setting up websites, newsletters, a podcast, a video thing,
Yeah.
a Facebook page, learning to do graphics for a Facebook page, and even stuff like I've been thinking about ways to reduce my budget next year, and I can't easily get away without those covers, and they're like a pretty expensive part. But like BookFunnel, Prolific Works, I think those both go for me because,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see the added benefit of freebie subscribers.
Yeah.
And
I get nothing for like what I have on my, how many people I have on my newsletter. What I get from them is almost nothing.
Well,
I certainly do have some people on that list that I get some stuff from, but it's like 1% of that list.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny, right? Because you think, I think reader magnets and like finding people that way, I think it was a really big thing, maybe even like 2 years ago. And then by the time we did it, I don't know, maybe it didn't help as much. But yeah, like
It's good to not be talking in a vacuum. I think for building up that newsletter list, even if you know these people are not ultimately going to buy anything, I do think it's nice sending a newsletter to 1,000 people instead of 4 people.
totally, yes,
So
yes.
I will give it credit for that. And it also was kind of nice to see. I feel like you also had this experience seeing what was going to, like, what gets a lot of hits and what doesn't.
Yes, yes.
It's also good for A/B testing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
there are perks to it,
lots.
but they don't last long.
Right, and I'm
Yeah.
not sure that they're necessarily perks that continue past like a year. So
Yeah.
after that, you really want your subscribers to be people who are willing to buy your books,
Yes.
or at least people who are like excited if your books are, in existence or something. So,
Yeah.
like if I look at the last newsletter I sent for my angel person, I had almost as many people unsubscribe as I did have people click.
I I had less than 2% click rate on mine.
Yeah, no, my click rate is
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
2.19%. It's horrible. But okay, so on the other hand, like I mean, this has been a really interesting thing. So like my Wesley Ash newsletter, those subscribers I have absolutely loved, and they're with me. They pay attention. So
Yeah.
like I had a 17.24% click rate on my last one for
Oh,
them.
that's good.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was giving them freebie romance, but like would I do freebie stuff with my other pen name? It doesn't even matter. So like it's like I got hate mail back from this last one.
Right. But extremely misguided hate mail. I think there needs to be
Yeah.
a caveat on that, considering that I have absolutely sent out emails before saying, hey, if you guys don't know what Kindle Unlimited is, this is what it is.
Oh, have
And
you?
well, you literally just said your book is available for Kindle Unlimited, and
Yeah.
somebody was like, go to hell.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Hey, my book's available, and they were like, I don't understand why you're sending this out. Okay, so sorry.
Do you, I know we kind of went off on a tangent, but now that we're off on a tangent,
Sure.
you want to see something really funny with an A/B split that I just did?
Yes.
Okay, so a little background on it. This is that last one that I sent out. If you are listening to this, you're probably not going to be able to see it because the windows are going to be wonky,
Wait,
but
I can make it.
hopefully what's going on. So I do an A/B split on my last email that I sent out, my last newsletter. My last newsletter is literally links to 2 promos that I'm doing, and a recipe for lemon bars.
Okay.
I do A/B only because I don't have a preference for which of the 2 group not group giveaways, group promos that I'm in. I don't have a preference for which one goes first, so I just do an A/B split so they both have a chance to go first, and so I feel like
Oh.
it's going to be a little bit more fair to the. Oh, this isn't the crazy part, but just so they're a little bit more fair to the promos themselves, I do an A/B split. So some people will get one on top, and some people will get the other on top. If you've never done an A/B split, how it works, at least with MailerLite, is they take 50% of your list, they split it in half, send half to one group, half to the other. At the end of a time period, whatever your criteria is for it, they decide who the winner is, send the other half of the newsletters out. So for this one, I think I just said clicks because, again, it didn't really matter. So already it looks real weird that I only had 2 clicks on one and 9 on the other.
Yes, that is a little
But
weird.
could literally just be that one promo is looking better, and that's why that happened. Their open rate is about the same, 91 versus 90. But then we get down to like the actual numbers. And literally just everybody who got version A hated it, and many of them unsubscribed.
Wow.
The people who got the B version clicked on a bunch of both. So on the A version, for some reason, only one person clicked on one, and then the other is probably the same person. And then on the B group, many more people clicked, and there's absolutely no rationale for this.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the thing that's so hard about that is, like, you're
And then one
dealing.
person tried to unsubscribe twice, apparently.
Nice. I mean, you're dealing with such a small group, right?
That's kind of
So,
fair, but also it's almost 1,000 people.
yeah.
So statistically speaking, it's not small. It gets small when we get down to the fact that only like 2% of people are doing anything with it. So you can use small in that context, and statistics get weird there. But it's just real crazy that it ended up being 2 clicks on one and 15 clicks on the other. And it's not like they're all clicking on the same thing. It looks like literally 7 people clicked on everything for the B, and only one person clicked on everything for the A. So
So
that's it. That's our fun
strange.
little thing, and we can move on now. I don't know what you said, but it made me think of this thing.
No, but I mean, those are the kinds of see, and I feel like earlier in the year I would have been really, really, really obsessed with like how that went, and now
Right.
if it's not translating to a sale, then
Right.
right then I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, so I'm not really sure that that counts then. Like it's
Yeah.
interesting, but like, did it help me with the sales bit? And
It
that's
just
so
shows how
arbitrary.
wonky
Yeah,
A/B splits can be.
so weird.
Theoretically, there's absolutely nothing different between those 2 groups. It should have
Right.
been randomly chosen. I can't imagine that it is not randomly chosen, and
No.
somehow,
And
and
somehow
again, like
that.
the titles are exactly the same. Uh, the images are different, but it's not a huge difference, and it's not like they're taking up any more or less space. I don't know. It's weird.
It is very weird.
Yeah.
That is a strange thing. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
So okay, so I spent a lot of time thinking. Well, okay, wait, we're at our last thing.
we are.
There, we'll have time to talk about the new year next week. We should
Yeah.
write for now.
Yeah, I agree with that. So we are doing our last little 10-minute. There we go. There's the timer. I'm gonna yawn, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start this timer, and we'll see you guys at about 5 of.
Okay.
So what were you going to tell us?
I have no idea.
God.
Yeah, yeah. Also, there's still a weird wonky delay. I don't know.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's not. It's probably my internet. It
No,
just
I'm having, again, my mouth, unless I've never actually paid attention to my mouth while I'm talking, and this is just the always delay that there is. I don't know.
no. It's not the always delay. It's a little. It's off. But whatever. No, I got decent writing done today, so I was
Good.
just caught up in that. Yeah, I think yeah, like legit for next year. I cannot. I need to protect things like my weekends and my evenings. Like I really forget how important it
Yeah.
is to take rest time. I don't know. It matters to me. If I don't, then I can't
I
write as
support
efficiently.
that. I have two jobs, so that doesn't quite work for me, but that I support
Well,
that.
okay, so to clarify,
Yeah.
what I really mean is I need to spend time doing things like working on my house or like cleaning or grocery shopping or doing whatever for Melka. Like I need time off the writing.
Yeah.
So it's not like I feel like I need to just like sit around on Saturdays doing nothing. I need to not be constantly,
Yes.
you know. And we'll see. Who knows? Maybe next year I'll actually end up with more done than I got done this year because of that. Hopefully, we both will in
I mean,
some way.
that's fair. That's normally what happens. There's all those studies showing that like it's cruel to put people on a 40-hour work week. So,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Because you're actually more efficient otherwise. So I feel
Yeah.
like we like kind of like sort of beat 2019 to death a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what shall we do next week, Chloe?
I don't know.
Me neither.
I feel like we will figure that out when we get a little closer to it.
We'll figure that out when we're
Um,
closer. Yes,
yeah.
indeed. All right. So shall we end our
We could
video
talk
for
about
the?
books next week. I don't know.
Ooh, we
I don't
could.
know. That might have been a bad idea. I don't know because I only read smut. So,
Well, I read some things that aren't smut. I can be the non-smut contributor.
we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Indeed. All right. All right. So I guess then, for everybody who is with us, thanks for joining us, and we
Yes,
will
thank you.
it will try to be planned next week. So goodbye, everybody.
Good luck writing.